A game of chess is like a sword fight. You must think first, right? Before you move.
Hey everybody, this is Galen from the Portland Chess Shop, bringing you a chess commentary. This is Dmitry Jakovenko, number 27 in the world at FIDE rating of 2716, is GM Cool Wizard playing on the Internet Chess Club. And we have him against, is it Tiri Ishia or something? A pretty good battle. Cool Wizard, our hero, Jakovenko, is 26-31 in the 5-minute pool rated, which is almost as high as Nakamura, who's around 26-70, 26-90. His opponent is 23-09, so Jakovenko's a huge favorite, but he'll have to win consistently against players of this rating level in order to gain points. So he has to really outplay his opponent and really take it to the next level. And so we're going to see what's going down. So we saw an e4, c6, d4, d5. So this started out as a Caro-Kann. A solid opening for black. Not really trying to fight immediately, but just trying to get a solid position and maneuver later on. That's we see that both players have around the same amount of time, 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Woo! 4:20. Okay. Queen a5 is played, gaining a lot of space on the queen side, sort of with initiative. Seems good. The king has to play to b1 to defend the a2 pawn, and now it's black's turn to play again. He's trying to go with the momentum. I got a quote from the Art of War Lao Tzu. You use a special squad to lure the opponent on a wild goose chase, making it seem as though your main force is far away. Then you send out a surprise attack force that gets there first, even though it sets out last. So we'll see if that goes on in this game. If he can lure his opponent with a wild goose chase and then attack. Jakovenko is bringing the defense. The queen on the a5 is strong, attacking a lot of key squares, key diagonals, the d5 to e1 diagonal, as well as the fifth rank. Rook d8 is played, centralizing that rook, which is a good move. The rook wasn't doing very much on a8, but on d8, it's now attacking the d4 square, attacking a key central square. He'll try to break that down. Rook h3 is played by white, a very strong move, controlling the third rank with the rook, threatening to swing across all the way to the queen side if necessary, or attacked on the king side. c5 is played by Jakovenko, a strong move, a good move, attacking the center squares, trying to break that down before white's attack continues. Rook g3 is played. So the rook on g3 is not in the center, but it's on the g file, attacking black's king. So he's hoping that the center, the d4 square will not fall, and that he'll be able to use the rook on g3 with some sort of a momentum shift to attack the black king. Go for checkmate. That's the idea behind that move. But it's dynamic on that square in that it could do many other things. It could switch across and swing across to the other side, just like I think some of the principles in the art of attack. So rook e8 is played by black, which centralizes the rook, defends, e6 square, makes a little space for the bishop to go on f8. Sometimes you want to look at the board, you want to go, what is my least developed piece? What is my weakest piece? And in that case, the rook on f8 was the least useful. Also, now the king has a little more space to run. It could run to f8 if it needed, and so you sometimes move your least developed piece before you try to break open the center. Bishop g5 is played, so that's a good move. That move is attacking the knight on f6. If the bishop goes to f8, then white would be able to inflict black with doubled pawns. So the center is exchanged. Now we have an isolated d pawn, which could become a weakness in the endgame. But if he could, play to d5, for example, push it forward, or just control it on that square with the knight on e5, he could get an advantage. So this is a pretty equal position here. It looks like the open C file. It would be nice if one of black's rooks was located on that and the other one was located on d8. We can see that our hero, Cool Wizard, is down on time. He's down 50 seconds. He plays rook d5, which is a move that centralizes the rook and prepares possibilities like rook to d8. But it looks like black lost a tempo in this sequence, because I think he could have swung the rook to f to d8 in one move, possibly. So we see queen f3, which puts the queen on the king's side. Very suspicious. The knight on f6 is now pinned. Jakovenko is forced to retreat the queen from a5 back to d8, creating sort of an Alekhine's gun situation with the rook in front of the queen attacking the d4 square, but the queen is also defending the f6 square, so we see some tension. You know, the knight on f6 is pinned, the rook on g3 could suddenly open up and come to life. a3 is played. So I'm a little suspicious of the move, because it does create some weaknesses in front of the white king, but at the same time, it does save some back rank mate threats. So king f8 is played, so that prevents the bishop h6 move currently, because then g could take on f6. So we have 2 minutes and 35 seconds against 1 minute and 56 seconds. So it's going down to the wire. There's some tension in the air, I feel like. It almost looks like rook takes e5 is playable, but the queen on f3 still guards the rook on d1. So thus he plays. So the bishop was forced to retreat, though, from g5, the powerful g5 post, back to e3. So now white is sort of retreating, and then the bishop is moved to d6, which looks really good because now he has two attackers on the e5 square. The e5 square is only defended once. The bishop is forced to move back to f3, defending the knight on e5, so overprotecting the key squares. But it looks like d4 could fall, like in one of these double attacks, because we're seeing a lot of pressure on these two dark squares. We're seeing a lot of pressure on e5 and d5. The bishop goes back to b8. Still attacking the e5 square, but also creating threats on d4. It looks like the queen might be forced to move to defend the d4 square. 1 minute and 58 seconds against 1 minute and 34 seconds. So our hero, GM Cool Wizard, is down on time. The time scramble will be tricky. He's a over 300 points higher, so he needs to win this like 1 in 12 times or something to break even. So he needs to really find some moves to gain a strong advantage. But with his Caro-Kann defense, he just didn't seem to get that much out of the opening. But white is in a long think, 1 minute and 32 seconds against 1 minute and 34. So now our hero Jakovenko has a few more seconds. He's up on time, which could be useful. H5 is played, trying to push that pawn farther forward, create some weaknesses in the white camp. It could be a bluff, but black could be forced to play something like h6. You know, it's a question of how exactly you're going to deal with it. But he's able to take on d4, taking the center square, so that's a powerful move, important to control that. Rook to e1 is played, so the d1 squared is now protected twice, attacked twice by the queen, each side by a queen and a rook. The e5 square is now overprotected by the bishop and the rook, so it looks like this could be a temporary dynamic way to keep going. But the queen on d5, queens in the center on an open board are just too powerful. How could the queen f3 continue to attack and not trade off? Unless he goes for something drastic like rook takes g7. That could be awesome. Think about it. Yeah, rook takes g7, because then if queen takes queen, then you play rook takes f7 check, right? And now the rook's not hanging anymore. The king has to move to g8, and then you could take back with the pawn. It's kind of dangerous, because then like bishop takes e5, the knight on e5. You know, because the rook is only defended by the knight, so if the knight's removed, then the rook falls. It looks like it could be a suspicious tactic, even though it looks pretty good. Queen takes f3, rook takes check, king g1, pawn takes, bishop takes knight, and then, I don't know, he even has like rook g1 check, but then the rook falls, pawn takes, bishop takes back, the rook on d4 will be hanging, so it's a pretty complicated position. The important thing is that GM Cool Wizard was thinking for like over 30 seconds on that move. He wasn't sure what to do, and now he's down to 21 seconds against 48 seconds, which is a huge problem for him. He trades on e5 and the queen, and then takes, which could be the correct sequence, but I'm just afraid that he has too little time. No, I'm not even sure how his pieces are going to hold here. I'm not. Yeah. Oh, that didn't seem like the right sequence, because now the knight saved. I think he could have won the knight in full, but still, it's 15 seconds against 35. It's just too much of a time deficit. As long as he plays quickly. So check comes here. Now he takes the knight, hopefully, and now the rook attacks f3. Pawn takes pawn. 12 seconds against 30 seconds. The a3 move is, you know, that was played a long time ago, keeps the king safe. The king tries to centralize himself. 27 seconds against 10 seconds. How can Jakovenko win this? The rook falls. The game is over. The favorite, Jakovenko, has lost the game 1-0 for Tiririka. So congratulations to Tiririka, playing your best against one of the strongest GMs in Blitz as well as in live chess in the world. And good game. Thank you very much for watching this, guys. This is the Portland Chess Shop. Please thumbs up because we want to be awesome. Appreciate it. Have a good night. Bye.